Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. What am I riding? U-Free. Yeah, we're riding a U-Free bike. Guess which one? Yeah, it's the blue one. It's a solar sparrow. Yeah, didn't you ride that bike last time, Russ? Yep, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, last time we had squeaky brakes, remember? Yep. Not anymore. I've been working on the brakes, bedding it in, getting the squeal to go away. Yeah, you got to do that, you know. When you get a brand new bike, sometimes you have to hit the brakes. Yeah, see, nothing. Got to work on the brakes, get those things bedded in so it doesn't squeal on you. So what's going on today? Well, just kind of riding around. This is the kind of bike that you just ride the neighborhoods with. That's how I see it. But that doesn't mean you can't take it anywhere else. You know, some were mentioning that the 10.5 amp hour battery is a little low. Yeah, well, you know, it wasn't designed for super long distances. This bike is actually designed for putting around town. Whoever came up with that term, putting around town. Just to get around, you know. Oh, a little squeal there. Everything takes a little bit of time. You know, you do your best to try to eliminate squeals, and then sometimes it still squeals, you know. It takes a while. Yeah, okay, we're on this road again. This one, this area, they've been working on these streets, and so they've got new asphalt down in some areas. Now, the last video we saw the police out on the bike path, right? Yeah, see, tell you. They do patrol it every now and then. It's not like they don't. But that really was the second time. That was the second time that I seen the police motorcycle on the bike path. Yep. I think I saw the police motorcycle on the bike path a couple years ago. It could have been 2-3 years ago when I first saw them out there. And kind of surprised me. Yeah, he waved me forward before. Well, this time we just waved hello to him on the last video. And he said hello to us. Yeah, don't be afraid of your police. Some people are. They just too nervous about the police being out there with them. They're not going to do anything to you. What are they going to do to you? They're only going to do something if you're doing something that's not right. Well, maybe you're doing something that's not right. Then you'd be afraid of them. No, police are your friend. This is what I always learned. But you know, and there's always, like everything else, there's always a cop here or there that exerts a little too much police power sometimes. I've noticed that before. I've been a victim of that once. I remember driving my car, and they had everyone stopping, and so he had a car in front of me. He waved forward, and you know, because it was, I don't know, it was an accident or something was up there. So he waved forward. I waited my turn, then I went forward. Then he yelled at me and says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, you let the other guy forward. I figured you were letting people over." And no. So he pulled me over, had me sit out there for 10 to 15 minutes on the side, took my license, okay, had me sit to the side, and then when he was done dealing with the traffic, he came over, handed me my license, didn't say one word, and let me go. How do you like that? Now, to me, that's overexertion of police power. What do you think? Now, you could try to complain about it, but it's just not worth bothering with a guy like that. What are you gonna do? There's always a bad apple somewhere, no matter what. Yeah, my suggestion when you run into stuff like that is just do what they tell you to do, stay quiet, don't complain too much, and you'll be fine. So anyway, that's my story of being abused by the police. But other than that, I've really never had any other issues. Nope. Not much at all. And hey, that wasn't even my fault. It wasn't even my fault. But hey, what are you gonna do? So the The Solar Sparrow. Hey, there's that Fiero again. That's a yellow and white Fiero. I'm not a fan of that color scheme. Well, today we're just going to talk about odds and ends. This is basically how we started out the Russ is Right channel when I first started riding my bike, right? We had no real agenda. We were just kind of riding around and talking. Yeah, we're going to be getting back into that. Along with, of course, things like e-bike reviews and whatever comes our way. Any other new stuff coming, Russ? Yeah, there's new stuff coming. New stuff coming. Can't tell you anything. But stay tuned, there's always new things coming soon, right? Yep. So the weather's been kind of up and down in the area. I'm out early in the morning today, so it's still a little bit chilly. I figure if it's chilly, I've got to wear the long sleeve sweatshirt. I still got my long pants on. I'm not in shorts anytime soon. So when things get better, there we go, the squeak again. So you think you got rid of the squeak, but the squeak is still there. Still needs effort, braking effort. Alrighty, where should we head this time? Yeah, see, if you go too slow, sometimes it just wants to squeal on you. Let's bed it in a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. Is there like liquids you can put on there? I've heard that somebody said that there's some stuff you can apply to either your brake rotors or something to help that. I don't know. Others have said alcohol is fine. I don't know what's the best way to do it. I've always just done bedding in the brakes and then hope for the best. Did it make chemicals for that thing? I don't know. Son have said scuff up the brake pad a little bit. I don't know about that either. I'm not really sure about that. Doesn't sound good to me. Scuffing up anything doesn't sound good to me. The word scuffing up doesn't sound good to me. Yeah, so I'm just putting in my time on this bike, trying to get some miles on it and working out the little kinks. Right now, at this point, the squealing brakes is my kink on this bike. Every bike seems to have a little bit of something that needs a little bit of work of something. You don't discover those things until you've ridden it for a while, right? So it's okay, it's just brakes. That's how brakes are. Here's another story of some major stuff happened to it and I couldn't fix it. That would be another issue. But I've had bikes, when they come in, it needs a derailleur adjustment or some type of thing. Sometimes that bouncing around on the truck doesn't help it. I've had a couple of bikes that needed derailleur adjustments. I've had a couple of bikes that needed tensioning of the spokes. I don't remember which bike it was. Was that, yeah, I can't remember which bike I did it on. It was a cargo bike, remember that one? See, this is a problem. Sometimes, bikes are given to you for a review and then you never hear from the company ever again. So then it's kind of out of your mind, you don't remember anymore. I will say this, that the current bikes in the house are multiple bikes from the same brands. Yeah, it's turned into the point where it's almost brand related for my bikes now. In the beginning stages, every brand here and there would offer you bikes. And then you thought it's something good, you take it on and you do it, but then you never hear from them again. I don't know why. I know one brand wanted me to do a review. I said, okay. And they never sent me the bike, but they continue to send me affiliate information, meaning, hey, we got a sale going on. Please let your people know, your viewers know that we got a sale going on. Hey, I never even reviewed the bike. I don't even know if I like your bike. If you don't send me the bike, I can't tell if I want to be an affiliate of that brand or not. So I just take their emails and delete them. It's a well-known brand too, okay? It was, I think maybe you got lost in the shuffle. I think two different influencer, I love that name, 2 different influencer representatives was contacting me, and I think it just got lost through the cracks, and none of them sent me a bike to review, but they all think I'm part of their system. I'm not. Will I take it on if they send me one? I might, but I've never heard from them again. Like I said, I don't really go begging for bikes. So now on occasion, I will contact companies to find out, hey, what's the status? What's the status on the bikes? Because we know new bikes are coming from them and the like. And then you don't get it. And then you wonder, hey, well, what's going on, Such is the case with wired e-bikes. Let me talk a little bit about wired. Yeah, I know I'm a youth for e-bike, but yeah, we can talk about other things. Yeah, Wired has a new series of 72-volt bikes out, right? So I was wondering when the review sample will be coming in for the Russ's Right channel. Now that's an interesting company because he never really offered it to me, and I never really asked for it. It was because of you guys, yeah. Guys like Paul Ketchum, yeah, contacted them and said, hey, Russ is in your neighborhood. Why aren't you giving Russ a chance to review the bike? Interestingly enough, after speaking with Steven, who's the owner of Wired, he says, I really don't even watch YouTube. He says, I really don't pay any attention to it, which is kind of interesting, for an e-bike company not to really pay attention. But he says, I didn't know, I don't know who's who, what's what. And he also mentioned to me that he says he really didn't want a lot of people to have the bikes for the reviews. He says he only really wanted to work with just a handful of people, and that's it. Actually, I kind of like that. He says I don't really pay that much attention to it. So anyway, so he got me the bike, and of course I've been riding a 60-volt wired cruiser. It's the green bike, right? Maybe I should take that bike out. So anyways, I called him. Well, I didn't call him. I texted him and said, hey, what's the status on the 72-volt versions? That's still having issues with the brakes. Gonna have to work that brake in. So he says we don't have any available right now. He says there was only like one of them available, and so he says I can get that to you within the next week or two. I said, well, I need to return it. And he goes, yeah, you'd have to return it. He says he doesn't have any for me to hang on to for a while because he's waiting for another batch of bikes to come in where it's actually part of inventory, and then he can actually let me keep the bike. So I said, yeah, you know what? Hang on to it. I says, I don't want to ride up there twice. I have to drive to his home and pick it up because he's that close to me. He's not that far. I said, no, hang on to it. I says, we'll wait until you've got the inventory available, and then when I come and get it, then I'll just keep it at that point. Otherwise, I have to take it, do the review, and send it back. I don't want to do that. It's too much of a headache. Plus, I want to make sure that whatever we get is the one that, if I talk about it, that's the one I'm going to be riding for the season. So he says, okay, that's fine. So we both agreed that it's better to wait a little bit until the inventory levels are fine. I think on the long run, that's probably better. It tells me that they're more interested at this point to make sure that those who've paid for the bike get their bikes. I mean, if he gave it all out to people like influencers, and then the people who paid for it don't get any, that's not good. So yeah, that's good. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now the interesting thing is, these guys are still working out here. Yep. Let's get past here. Yeah. Too many trucks and stuff. Too much noise. Well, the interesting thing is that that's the kind of bike, 72-volt bike, that I will not be riding at 50 miles an hour. I might do it once just to say that I did it and just to test it. But you're never going to see me riding that consistently like that. I'm not that kind of guy. Squeak, squeak. And so what we're going to be doing with that is, that's a hill climbing bike for sure. Oh wow, big American flag. That's a hill climbing type of bike. It'll get up almost anything. So if you got a lot of hills in your area, that would be the bike to do it, man. I don't know what the Newton meters on that thing is, like 120, is it higher? I don't know, it's way up there, okay? So it climbs almost anything, yeah. And then if I needed it for an emergency where I had to zip out of there real quick, I know I have the ability to do it. You gotta be careful on bikes like that though. Yeah, that'll toss you off the bike if you hit that throttle way too hard, because it'll lift the front end of your bike if you're not careful. Even the 60 volt version gets close to doing that. A friend of mine, yeah, it was Donut Jim. He told me to be careful. Donut Jim has a wired Freedom. I think he has a 2024 maybe version of it. And he says that thing lifted off the ground. Gotta be careful, I'm telling you. Now you might be wondering, hey, how come you guys haven't gone out riding together yet? I don't know, it's too cold. Same thing with Costco Tom. Now, if you don't know who these people are, you better be on the More from Russ channel, because we talk about those guys out there. Yeah, Costco Tom, we haven't had a chance to get together either. I don't know whether we will. Costco Tom rides way early in the morning because he works in the morning. Yeah, I don't wake up that early. I mean, I wake up early, but not that early. Plus, he's a little bit of distance. Both those guys are a little bit of distance from me, so it would be a little difficult for us to figure out when's a good time to ride together. So, who knows? We may not be able to do it. That's okay. Doesn't matter. I usually ride on my own anyways, as you know. Now, I might be riding with somebody though. I'll tell you who. It's a high school friend of mine that we still get together. Actually, every quarter of the year, two of my high school friends, my brother and I, get together for lunch. You know, each of us have a birthday on every quarter of the year. Yeah, we're due for another one in July. So, turns out his cousin has a YouTube channel. It's not too large. I think he just does it for the fun of doing it. And he rides an e-bike. And so he's been wanting to get together to ride with me. So I said, hey, you know, contact your cousin. Maybe we can all go together, because your cousin was interested in trying out an e-bike. So he's coming into town. So he contacted his cousin, hadn't heard back from him. So my friend calls me. He says, hey, what's up with me and with you and my cousin? I said, well, your cousin contacted me. He wants to ride together. And I said, well, since you wanted to try an e-bike, maybe we can all ride together, go to the Botanic Garden. He goes, I don't even know how to ride one of those things. How could I ride that far and that long? Yeah, it would be a little bit of a distance for him. It'd be about a 20-mile ride, you know, 10 there, 10 back, something like that. I think, something like that. So he says, no, he says, I just want to try out a bike first. So he's not going to go with us. But I told his cousin, well, you know, since you're making the effort, I will go, we'll do it together. I think he's actually bringing his bike in. So he's got a really nice one. Yeah, he told me he had, I don't remember what brand of bike. I looked it up. It's like $4,700. Yeah, it's a mid-drive type bike, I believe. So, so if he takes that, he'll be riding that. What am I going to ride? Yeah, I was thinking about that. Because as you know, I don't have the leg strength to continually pedal all the time. So a lot of times on rides like that, I'll pedal and throttle. And I says, well, you know, just to be safe, I think what I'll do is I'll take a second battery too. I don't really need it, you know, for 20 miles, but hey, why gamble it? All right, I think we should take a left-hand turn over here. We'll take a left right there. We'll take our left. And so we may be riding together to get to the Botanic Garden. Now, in the past, I would ride 60-something miles from home to the Botanic Garden. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think that'll be a little too much, and then meet him up somewhere. I don't want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow Mrs. Wright's car, put on the new Outfitter bike rack on it, and then bring the bike to maybe the Morton Grove, Illinois area, and then we'll ride it up the North Branch Trail to get to the Botanic Garden, hang around the garden for a second or two, and then come on back. I think that's what we'll end up doing. So if he's okay with it, I'll record the ride, and if he's okay, he can be on the video too. But I'll leave that up to him if he wants to be on the video or not. Haven't talked to him about it. He'll probably see this video and then he'll probably respond. So let me know if you're watching the video. Hey, you want to be on the video? Then he could either ride first or I can ride first. I think it'd be more interesting if he rode in front of me, really. Then we at least see somebody as I'm recording and talking. North Branch Trail, you know, it's an interesting trail because there's a lot of bikes always on that trail. And there's people who walk there and bike there and everything. So that trail goes all the way from Chicago all the way through. So it's got some distance you can go if you wanted to take the entire North Branch Trail. I'm passing the garbage truck here because I don't want to be caught behind them there. So that may be coming up, and if we do that, that might be in early July, something like that. Depends on the weather. See how the weather is going to be. We're playing it by ear. We're just gonna kind of check it out and see how the weather is, and then hopefully it doesn't rain on us. The last time I went out there, it rained on me. I don't want that again. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear, see how it goes. All right, that's about all I have for you for today. I just wanted to take the bike out one more time, you know, try to get these brakes bedded in and the like. I think I'm gonna have to try to do some type of a thing to either the rotors or brake pads or something to get the squeal out of there. I had one bike early on when I first started out. It was a KBO bike that had brake squeal. I had to change out the brake pads. Those were mechanical disc brakes. These are hydraulic brakes. But sometimes you do have to do stuff like that where it just doesn't want to match up. Yeah, no big deal. If I have to change it out, I'll change it out. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Hopefully you learned some stuff from all the things I ramble about. Talk to you guys next time.